Hey Stoic soul, tonight you join the company of those rare enough to see through the chaos and brave enough to untangle it. You feel the ache, don't you? That silent weight in your chest where family expectations wrestle your peace. You replay words said and unsaid, soak in criticism, like rain you never asked for, and wonder if this exhaustion is just the tax for having people you're supposed to love. But listen, what we endure, we become. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." If you keep carrying disrespect, it seeps into your marrow. If you keep breathing in blame, it fogs your mind. Tonight, I'll walk you through 10 behaviours, quietly corrosive, that no stoic or sovereign mind should allow, even from those who share your blood. Take a breath. You're not alone. This is your line in the sand. You know the feeling. You're guilted into family plans you didn't want, phone calls you dread, apologies you never meant. They call it love, but it feels like a leash. The Stoics reminded us, your mind is yours alone. If guilt is a chain around your neck, it's time to unfasten it, kindly but firmly. Imagine Marcus Aurelius sitting on a throne with his toga slightly askew because even Stoic emperors have bad laundry days, looking up from his journal to sagely remind you, let no one force your mind. Stoics wouldn't let a legion march through their thoughts unchecked, and neither should you let a barrage of guilt-tipped arrows storm your peace. In their peculiar Roman way, they knew everyone tried to be a carpenter of your emotions, sometimes with all the subtlety of a toddler wielding a sledgehammer. So why do we bow? Because society hands out guilt like free samples at the grocery store. And before you know it, you're leaving with a cart full of obligations you never asked for. Empathy, a beautiful thing, turns toxic when hopped up on people-pleasing and marinated in shame. If your great aunt wants you to host a party, and your idea of a party is closing all your apps and reading Seneca in pajamas, congratulations, you have permission not to participate in her psychological Olympics. The Stoics weren't antisocial misers locked in stone towers. Though let's be honest, Epictetus probably wouldn't RSVP to Sunday brunch. They understood empathy as understanding another without losing yourself. Submission, on the other hand, is surrender. It's when you let other people's storms reign inside your teacup, one drop at a time. Your inner citadel, as they'd call it, is meant to keep you dry. Notice how guilt works. It whispers, if you really cared, you'd come. It dresses up manipulation in mittens and calls it concern. It hands you the leash and says, you know, I just want you to be happy. My kind of happy. Cue the soundtrack, the world's smallest violin, accompanied by your stomach tying itself in guilt knots. But wait, what about empathy? Empathy isn't kneeling, it's understanding, not folding. Imagine you're holding open a door. Empathy says, I see your weather outside. Submission means you invite their hurricane into your living room, apologize for your furniture, and then mop up afterward. Here's the Stoic twist. You owe kindness and understanding, not your autonomy. Seneca, the king of Stoic zingers, once said, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. Translation: boundaries are your gym membership for the soul. Every time you say, I appreciate your feelings, but I choose not to, you're bench pressing your dignity a little higher. Let's make this practical and just a pinch comical. The next time guilt comes knocking, picture yourself as a bouncer outside Club Mind. Guilt shows up with fake ID, sweating in an ill-fitting suit. Let me in, I'm with sympathy. Brief nod, you check the clipboard. Sorry, you're not on the list tonight. Empathy, however, strolls in with genuine warmth. You let her grab a juice box. Everyone stays in their lane. The party inside stays groovy. Our culture trains us to interpret no as selfish, but the ancient Stoics would scoff. They'd sip their diluted wine and whisper, "No is a complete sentence." Every time you choose your path, instead of following guilt's puppet strings, you honor that most sacred Stoic asset, your own rational mind. Empathy is not submission. Practice holding space for others' feelings, but do not become their emotional real estate. You're not a guilt Airbnb. You're more like a park, open, serene, but with clear "don't feed the bears" signs. And yes, in this park, guilt is definitely the bear. So, before you start rearranging your life for someone else's comfort, check in with the wise crowd in your head. Marcus, Seneca, Epictetus, your faceless, toga-wearing, judgment-free support group. If you must bow, bow to your own values. If you must submit, submit only to your reasoned principles. And as you drift off tonight, imagine unloading one stubborn guilt after another, like bags from a weary traveller, until you're finally free to nap on the plushest philosophical couch the Stoics ever built. You sense it at every gathering, the simmering stew of unsaid hopes and silent judgments. You're supposed to know exactly what to do, how to behave, when to speak, and when to disappear. But as Epictetus warned, those who live for approval become prisoners. You owe honesty, not telepathy. Let's get real. No one is actually clairvoyant, despite what your mother-in-law's occasional glances might suggest. Yet we tiptoe around, as if etiquette is a secret Morse code, and at any moment we might blunder into an emotional landmine. Like, for example, when you brought sparkling water to game night, instead of the sacred orange soda. Socrates did not brave the agora, just so you could be held emotionally hostage by beverage protocol. Unspoken expectations are like Wi-Fi signals, everywhere, invisible, and frankly, making you kind of anxious when you can't connect. But here's the thing. The expectation that you can read minds and regulate everyone's mood is the longest-running Least Funny sitcom of all time. And Stoicism wants you to change the channel. The Stoic remedy: drop the script. You are not starring in a mind-reading improv show. Marcus Aurelius didn't become emperor by guessing what everyone else wanted for dinner. If you don't know what's really expected, ask. If someone is disappointed by your actions, let it be their task to express it openly. As Marcus reminds us, if it's neither true nor useful, don't concern yourself with it. If Cousin Greg expected you to organize the family trivia night using only questions about 90s boy bands, but never said a word, Greg's disappointment is not your burden to carry. When we give in to silent expectations, we become like baristas, serving imaginary lattes to patrons who never actually placed an order. Let's face it, your job is hard enough, without inventing needs based on interpretive eyebrow raises. And if you're worried that people might judge you for simply asking, remember, those who value you will appreciate your honesty. Those who don't, well, as Seneca would say, you were never truly in their good graces, merely their good guesses. Worried what will happen if you break free of these silent contracts. Picture yourself at a dinner party, boldly asking, hey, is there something you'd like from me tonight, other than my presence and unparalleled wit? Yes, someone might look mildly scandalized. More likely, you'll liberate the room, because half the table is actually agonizing over whether it's okay to take a second serving of potatoes. And now you've broken the spell. Stoics see expectations as optional, like those little packets of chili flakes at pizza restaurants. You can sprinkle them on, but you're allowed to say, no thank you. The only agreements that bind you are ones you consciously and willingly make. Polite society may run on a bit of unwritten code, but you are not obliged to decode the Morse signals of everyone's inner child. Communicate. Clarify. If this feels awkward, remember, awkwardness is often just the sound of freedom ringing in your ears, or the sound of Aunt Marjorie's fork clinking, but that too shall pass. Renounce the tyranny of unspoken expectations, and suddenly, social life gets lighter. Resentments evaporate. Relationships stop feeling like high-stress escape rooms. You aren't responsible for scripts you never received. None of the wise Stoics achieved tranquility by straining to fulfill someone's fantasy league of unsaid wishes. As you climb into bed and close your eyes, let go of decoding duty. Drift off, knowing that tomorrow you'll meet people as they really are, one clear word at a time. Remember when you used to, the phrase that arrives like a velvet rope, gently tying you to a past you've outgrown. Childhood stories become ammunition in adult arguments. The Stoic path is forward-facing. Your past is a teacher, not a shackle. There you are at a family dinner, a full-grown adult capable of filing your own taxes or crying on TurboTax's support chat. And suddenly someone says, "Remember when you insisted on wearing your Spider-Man costume everywhere for 3 straight months?" The table roars with laughter, and just like that, you're 8 years old again, swinging on imaginary webs made from grape juice and a little bit of mild humiliation. Weaponized nostalgia is slippery. It masquerades as a warm embrace, but veiled within, it tugs you back to a version of yourself that existed before you could even spell responsibility. It wants to convince you that the good old days were the golden standard, and any change since then is a mistake. A personal affront to Aunt Janet, who has only ever seen you as the grape juice-stained spider child. As the Stoics gently remind us, memory is a tool for growth, not an anchor for stagnation. Marcus Aurelius did not write, "Dwell on how many accidental headbutts you delivered in kindergarten," nor did Epictetus advise, "Tie your identity forever to that one time you lost your trousers in gym class." Instead, they taught us the subtle art of letting the past inform us, not define us. When nostalgia is weaponized, it's like someone repeatedly opening an old save file in the game of your life, refusing to let you progress to a new level, even when you're ready to face bigger bosses, like doing your own laundry. Picture Stoicism as a sturdy ship, and the seas behind you are no longer sailing routes. They're reference points on a well-worn map. When someone tries to use nostalgia to drag you back, politely hand them an oar and row harder toward new horizons. The only way forward is through the present. Your character sheet upgrades with present choices, not with a highlight reel of your best and most embarrassing moments from decades past. Sometimes this weaponized nostalgia disguises itself as concern or affection. "You used to be so outgoing. Why are you so serious now?" Or, "You used to eat 3 slices of cake at every birthday. Where is your sense of fun?" It's tempting to internalize these questions, to question your own path. But remember, no fruit stays perpetually ripe. The Stoic spirit is about maturing, learning which branches to climb and which to prune away. That Spider-Man costume? It was brilliant then. Now your superpower is setting healthy boundaries. If you ever catch yourself peering lovingly into the rearview mirror, use the Stoic lens. Was the past really as glorious as your mind paints it? Memory has a way of putting Instagram filters on reality, cropping out the awkwardness, the uncertainty, the grape juice. When others prod you to relive those days, thank them for their fondness, but don't let them shove you backward into a one-size-too-small jumpsuit. Politely decline the offer to reenact your greatest hits. No more impromptu living room performances unless you genuinely want to. The ultimate Stoic flex is this: you are allowed to visit the past, but not to live there. Weaponized nostalgia is powerless against mindful self-acceptance. You are your own curator, deciding which memories become art and which are best left stacked in the attic of your mind, next to the legless action figures. Forward is not only a direction, but a Stoic commandment. The lesson is not to forget who you were, but to recognize who you've become, and to refuse to be drafted for an involuntary tour of duty in your own greatest hits album. The real glow-up is loving the present self, Spider-Man costume not included, Cousin Alex's shiny career, Aunt Linda's perfect kids, sibling rivalry for sport. Comparison dilutes gratitude and seeds resentment. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." Their path isn't your blockage, it's your boundary. Think for a brief, sleepy moment about how ridiculous it would be if you compared your pillow with a toaster. Both are excellent at what they do. One fries bread, one cradles your head. Yet here we are, stuffing our minds with other people's highlight reels, agonizing that we didn't toast ourselves golden brown in time for breakfast. The universe is far less scoreboard and much more vegetable soup. Each of us, a carrot, a potato, or, if you're feeling dramatic, a single floating pea, swirling in the slow-cooked broth of life. Do you ever see a carrot sighing because it isn't more potatoey? Do peas get existential about not being string beans? Unlikely. This habit of endless comparison is like doom-scrolling the best of moments from strangers' lives, forgetting that you're only seeing their applause breaks, never their blooper reels. Even Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor himself, knew that none of us is given the same script, the same starting costume, or even the same weird background extras. Your path is yours alone, with its own plot twists, wardrobe malfunctions, and dance numbers. Some say comparison is the thief of joy, but in truth, it's more like a nosy aunt who just wants to check in on your progress, but then eats all your cookies and leaves you feeling inexplicably hungry. It's the voice whispering, "Shouldn't you be more like them?" As you're quietly inventing your own flavor of awesome, gratitude is your shield in this arena. When you catch yourself eyeing someone else's shimmering unicorn of a life, pause and pet your own metaphorical horse. Maybe yours is more of a stubborn, lovable pony, but it's yours, and sometimes it lets you ride bareback into the sunset, snorting at the idea of unicorns. Here's a Stoic secret. No one really knows what they're doing. Not even Aunt Linda with her Pinterest-worthy family photos. Everyone is struggling with something, wrestling invisible monsters, or stepping on metaphorical Lego bricks in the darkness. To compare your behind the scenes to someone else's red carpet is like comparing your midnight snack to a Michelin star tasting menu. Both serve a deeply personal and important purpose. If you must compare yourself now to yourself a year ago. Marvel at the progress, however slow and meandering. If today you got out of bed, or even just slightly rearranged the sheets while lying in bed, that is a win. Take it from Epictetus. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. When the voice of comparison gnaws at your peace, befriend it rather than wage war. Offer it a seat. Thank it for reminding you how much you care about your own goals. Then kindly inform it that your energy is better spent watering your own plants, not checking if the neighbor's garden gnome has a better hat. As you drift now, picture your life as a unique, unrepeatable jazz riff. It can't be graded against someone else's rock anthem. Each beat, each missed note, every unexpected lyric, all yours, irreducibly and magnificently so. Let others play their melody. Silence the need to outshine or even match them. Let your own rhythm guide you to gratitude and gentle smiles, because the beauty of life is not in being better than others, but in being true to the composition only you can make. Rest easy. Your song is enough, and you're exactly where you need to be. That heavy pause, the dramatic sigh, the "after all I've done for you." Guilt as a tool, obligation as currency. Stoics protect their serenity with compassionate detachment. Your choices are offerings, not debts to be collected. Emotional blackmail hides in plain sight and wears many disguises. Classic guilt trip, urgent martyr, or Olympic-level pouting. You can almost hear Cicero raising one ancient eyebrow. So you fell for the sad puppy eyes again, did you? Emotional manipulators specialize in weaponizing your kindness, converting your empathy into credit they expect you to pay back on demand, plus interest. This is how people end up committed to events they dread, awkward relationships that resemble tax audits, and helping with chores suspiciously similar to forced labor. Picture Marcus Aurelius fielding a request. "Emperor, would you mind annexing Gaul this afternoon? After all, I picked up your toga from the laundromat." Marcus, gently adjusting his laurel wreath, would not snap or sulk. Stoics like him recognize that guilt-tripping speaks more about the speaker's internal weather than about our own duties. Your stillness is not selfishness. Serenity is not a sin. Stoic wisdom nudges us to flip the guilt script with clarity and calm. Your boundaries are not aggressive nor cold. They are fences with open gates, kind but firm, topped with comforting, hilarious signs. Trespassers will be given a very polite lecture. When you say no, you're not starting an emotional Cold War. I hear you. I care. I can't do that. You're holding space without letting someone's emotional thunderstorm rain on your inner garden. Emotional blackmail often springs from fear and insecurity. Someone else's, not yours. Their need for reassurance or validation gets outsourced to you, turning your calendar into their anxiety management system. The Stoic approach isn't to harden our hearts or become robotic no machines. It's to act with gentleness and resolve. Your feelings are real and valid, but I'm not responsible for solving them. Like Epictetus advising you at the world's most therapeutic coffee shop. Coffee's on me, your self-worth is not. Resisting emotional blackmail doesn't mean banishing compassion. It means showing up for yourself first, putting on your own oxygen mask before attempting to inflate another person's emotional life raft. The Stoic script isn't, "I'll help if you guilt-trip me well enough." It's, "I choose to help from abundance, not obligation." Sometimes the hardest no is the most loving answer, for both you and the aspiring guilt slinger. With humor as your shield and wisdom as your guide, you can remain present without being captured. Channel Seneca when you respond to manipulative cries of, "But I need you to," with the inner monologue. Another guest appearance by emotional blackmail. And what a performance. Bravo. Smile, breathe, and let go. Their storm is not your weather report. Remember, true generosity is freely given, never extracted in installments. And your tranquility is the rarest currency, far too valuable to spend on emotional ransom notes, no matter how theatrically delivered. No one critiques quite like family. Sometimes it's couched as care, sometimes just laziness. You should try harder. You disappoint me. Repetition makes it feel true. But Seneca reminds us, no one has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to wish for what they haven't got. Your worth is immune to their weather. Imagine criticism as a drizzle. Irritating, yes, but only dangerous if you never dry off. If you sprint through life clutching every could do better like a soggy handkerchief, You will be perpetually drenched and slightly mouldy of spirit. Marcus Aurelius might add, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." It turns out, your uncle's remark about your career choices is not an ancient curse, just poorly timed noise. But chronic criticism can seep into our bones if we let it. Maybe it comes from a nitpicky boss, a passive-aggressive roommate, or from our own inner commentator who sounds suspiciously like that gym teacher from grade school. Yes, even our own minds can set up camp in the opposition stands, holding up scorecards that read, "Not quite enough." But, as Epictetus points out, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. So, before you print t-shirts that say, "World's greatest disappointment," remember that most criticism is simply reflux from someone else's indigestion. Defend yourself doesn't mean become porcupine-like, shooting quills of sarcasm at every presumed enemy. Instead, picture your mind as a calm harbour, wave after wave of commentary rolling in, but your boat safely tethered. Let the waves crash. You are anchored deeper. The less you react, the less fun the criticizers have. Oftentimes, persistent critics are just fishing for a rise. Give them a Zen garden instead. No bites, just tranquil ripples. A practical tactic. Treat chronic criticism like spam email. Filter, don't reply. Develop the noble art of selective listening. A wise Stoic hears advice and discards malice, keeping only what's useful. If your colleague mutters, "I guess you're still behind as usual," respond internally with an imaginary rubber stamp. Reviewed. Irrelevant. Smile at them with the serenity of someone who's unsubscribed from their negativity newsletter. The more you practice this, the stronger your inner antivirus becomes. On the rare occasion, a nugget of truth glimmers beneath the debris. Acknowledge it, without letting it define you. True improvement is not about internalizing every complaint. It's about tuning out the static, so you can actually hear the signal. Accept feedback the way you'd accept a new seasoning. Taste, don't chug. Does it actually help you grow, or just make you sneeze? Stoic humor is your shield. When a friend says, "You never listen," nod sagely and reply, "I'm stubbornly consistent." Make a sport of identifying the wildest exaggerations in the criticisms launched at you. Honestly, who among us truly always loses their keys? Only a performance artist. Laughter shrinks insults down to bite-sized snacks. Above all, remember that you are not obligated to inherit other people's emotional baggage. As Seneca would advise, don't rent out space in your mind to every passing critic. They can carry their own suitcases. The ancient Stoics practiced indifference not because they didn't care, but because they knew what was truly worth caring about. Your goal isn't to silence the critics. It's to live in such a way that your peace isn't on the market every time someone else has indigestion. That, dear insomniac Stoic, is how you defend yourself, with dignity, detachment, and occasionally a well-timed nap. Arguments on repeat, old wounds reopened with the predictability of reruns. Peace isn't found in participation. Sometimes the bravest act is not replying to that late-night text. Still waters, not storms. Show your strength. Picture life as a reality TV show, only you're not contractually obligated to create drama for ratings. Every group chat, family dinner, or work meeting can turn into a rerun of old grievances, familiar villains, and dramatic plot twists. But imagine, instead of starring in this ever-spinning soap opera, you step off the set altogether. Become the mysterious character who vanished, leaving the rest of the cast to gasp and gossip in your wake. Marcus Aurelius, ancient philosopher and unintentional expert on emotional ghosting, once said, "You always own the option of having no opinion." In modern terms, you get a free pass to leave people on read. The wisdom is ancient, the boundary is modern. The more you resist the gravitational pull of drama, the stronger your orbit becomes. Pay attention to how storms gather. The same tired remarks, the snide-side comments, the invitation to revisit the past. These are the siren, songs for endless cycles. Accepting the invitation is like showing up to a costume party in emotional armor, ready for a fight that can never be won. But still, the lure is powerful. You might think you can resolve it this time, have the definitive mic drop comeback, or finally receive an apology. But drama, like a hydra, grows two heads for everyone you try to cut off. So, try this. The next time drama calls, let it go to voicemail. Send your mental energy on a vacation. You don't have to rent beachfront property in someone else's dispute. When you disengage, you teach others and yourself that your peace is not a group project. Some people will marvel at your newfound serenity. Others will be suspicious, like you've learned sorcery. You have. It's called practicing indifference with style. Disengaging doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're choosing stillness over endless turbulence. Seneca, another Stoic sage, knew the value of casting off unnecessary burdens. Picture yourself as a ship, cutting away anchors of futile arguments. Suddenly, you sail smoother seas. People may try to toss another anchor. Remember what you said in 2012. But you've become a master at leaving the past to the past, right alongside cargo shorts and Harlem Shake videos. There's an art to knowing when to hold your tongue, when to turn off the notification bell of your emotions. Sometimes this looks like an expertly timed response. I see. Or a full Olympic-level feat. Silent, unbothered presence, while the emotional storm howls around you. You don't owe anyone front-row seats to your inner weather. Over time, the cycles of drama lose their allure. Like old sitcoms, reruns only thrill if you keep watching. Eventually people will learn that yelling in your direction is like yelling at a cloud. Nothing comes back except perhaps a bit of well-timed rain. The Stoic knows that real power comes from being untouched by needless turbulence, maintaining poise even when shenanigans are afoot. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, let these thoughts settle into your bones. Disengagement is not defeat. It is supreme skill. Set your boundaries, not in sand, but in granite. Refuse to water seeds of conflict. Remind yourself, peace is not passive. It is grown, guarded, and, most importantly, chosen. Every time you let go of the next episode in someone else's drama, every birthday, every move, every holiday, there it is, the calendar filled before you ask what you need. Your time is not communal property. Stoics schedule their lives by value, not tradition. Boundaries are clarity, not cruelty. If your phone vibrates before 9 a.m. with a group brunch invite for a Sunday 3 months from now, and the RSVP says ASAP because slots are filling up, congratulations, you have encountered the time thief. The time thief is not a criminal mastermind in a striped shirt. It's your cousin, your neighbor, that one friend who thinks, let's keep in touch, is a binding contract. But your moments are not up for grabs like free samples at the supermarket. Seneca would say, show me your calendar and I will show you your values. But make room for a lot of crossed out bingo nights and mandatory meetings that only benefited someone else's idea of your joy. The autopilot of our schedules often gets programmed with other people's priorities, out of politeness, inertia, or sheer dread of FOMO. The truth, you are not required to play calendar Tetris so that everyone else completes their perfect row. Stoic wisdom asks, is this request aligned with your best self, or is your RSVP a polite autopilot? Is this invitation an act of mutual enrichment, Or, are you about to spend 2 hours discussing the correct use of decorative pillows with Aunt Mildred because she hasn't seen you in ages? Imagine the universe as a massive, gently humming engine, operating without your anxious attempts to micromanage it. The Stoics regarded time as the ultimate non-refundable currency. Once spent, it doesn't come back, even with store credit. So, if your phone buzzes in another 7 p.m. emergency brainstorm meeting, or a last-minute bake sale request, remember, the word no is a full sentence. In fact, no is a Stoic's favorite time management app. It requires no battery and can't crash. Modern Stoicism doesn't ask you to reject society, just to decline involuntary subscriptions. If it's not in service of your flourishing or harmony, feel free to press unsubscribe. If you fear being labeled selfish, remind yourself that the boundary is not a castle wall, but a gentle garden fence, one that says both, I care about you and I need to prune my roses, aka sanity. Even Marcus Aurelius scheduled quiet time, and he was literally running an empire. If he could find time for his journal, you can definitely find time not to attend obscure pesto making workshops. Sticking to your schedule isn't just practical, it's psychological liberation. You're telling yourself each day, I am not an algorithm responding to every push notification. I am the designer of my moments. This doesn't mean you become a stone-faced recluse. It means you consciously invite people and projects in, not because tradition dictates, but because meaning warrants their presence. Calendars fill up. Obligations multiply. But value filters remain your toolkit. If your email signature starts reading sorry for the delay more than best regards, it's a sign your time's autopilot is overbooked. The Stoic answer: pause, assess, and choose. If you do not design your days, someone else will. And you'll wake up on your own birthday wondering why you're at a team-building potato sack race. Again. So, tonight, before drifting off, picture your day as a blank canvas only you may paint. When your phone buzzes next, remember, your RSVP isn't to their tradition, but to your own purpose. The only slot filling up with intention, respect, and maybe even a nap is yours. Family first. It's painted on coffee mugs and embroidered on pillows. But for the wise, loyalty without virtue is just enabling. Seneca stands behind you. It is quality, not quantity, that matters. Let kindness shape your tribe, not genealogy. Now picture your ancient ancestor, Epictetus the slightly clumsy, balancing a leaking amphora on one hip, and loyalty contracts on the other. Every time distant cousin Numerius shows up, asking to borrow denarii for his third fish sauce startup, Epictetus sighs, but hands over the coins. Blood, Numerius whispers, demands loyalty. But does it? Or is that just yesterday's wine-soaked logic? Seneca doesn't show up to family reunions just to sponsor someone's 7th attempt at inventing the spoon. He's all about practical, intentional bonds, not automatic ones. Even today, family members can be like persistent browser pop-ups, demanding attention, time, forgiveness, even when they crash your emotional hard drive with drama malware. But here's a Stoic hot take. The length of your DNA strand is not a lifelong subscription to someone else's circus. Uncle Maximus may have your nose, but if he brings chaos every Thanksgiving, even Marcus Aurelius would quietly excuse himself and take a meditative walk around the block, or, in your case, the dessert table. What makes a kinship truly sacred? Stoicism says it's virtue, honesty, and shared purpose. The family first slogan quietly mutates into virtue first, much to the confusion of anyone who's ever played Monopoly with Aunt Lucia. But without virtue as the glue, All you have is a tribe held together by mutual obligation, and perhaps an inexplicably large collection of inherited porcelain cats. When the world urges blind loyalty, blood oaths, undying support, standing by someone no matter what, remember that the Stoics, wise and sometimes suspiciously unbothered by emotional blackmail, recommend choosing your family as carefully as your friends. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Seneca nudges, sipping ethical tea from his world's-okayest uncle mug. There's something powerfully freeing about giving yourself permission to assess people, their character, not just their family newsletter content. If a sibling is a beacon of wisdom, kindness, and emotional competence, cling to them with all the warmth of a Stoic bear hug. If your third cousin's only talent is starting feuds over fruit salad, perhaps your loyalty is best reserved for shared values, rather than simply a shared grandmother. Stoicism does not tell you to become a hermit crab, dragging your shell from every family gathering, never to text back. It simply says, be intentional, love deeply, forgive generously, but never rent out your peace of mind or your couch on the basis of shared chromosomes alone. Loyalty is not about volunteering for personal chaos. Rather, it is about investing yourself in circles, whether familial or found, that are worthy of your time and soul. So next time your family WhatsApp group heats up, remember, it's okay to mute the alert for cousin Numerius's fish sauce drama. Not every hereditary relationship is a lifelong obligation. Some are just distant relatives, best left on red. Seek virtue, invest in relationships that make you better, and, if all else fails, offer a Stoic smile when the porcelain cats make their annual appearance on the group call. Sometimes, what they offer isn't guidance, but silent treatment, sarcasm, or scorn. Stoic dignity says, do not dine where respect isn't served. To tolerate contempt, even cloaked as family banter, is to set your self-worth on fire for warmth. Picture this. You're at the dinner table. The air tingles, not with the excitement of a family feast, but with the static of barely concealed eye rolls and expertly sharpened jabs. Someone says, "Oh, here comes the philosopher," or "Must be nice to have it all figured out." You muster a half smile, that old gymnast routine of blending in and shrinking down. But inside, something ancient flinches. Every passive dig is a reminder. Not every invitation deserves an RSVP, even when the address is your childhood home. See, contempt is a master of disguise. Sometimes it's gift-wrapped in concern. I'm only saying this because I care. Other times it tries on humor, hoping a laugh track will camouflage its sting. Stoicism doesn't want you to be cold. It wants you to be clear. It does not require you to storm out, toss the salad bowl dramatically, or stomp through the group chat on your way to a bland new existence. You don't even need to send a press release announcing your boundaries. You simply walk away from the joke, the glare, the old role assigned to you by someone who refuses to learn your new script. You might feel guilty at first. Isn't putting up with family slights just part of the human Olympics? Isn't endurance a virtue? Sure, but only when you're running your own race. If you wouldn't accept this treatment from a random person at the local coffee shop, why tolerate it from those with shared last names or matching DNA? Seneca didn't say, "Endure sarcasm for family points." Epictetus never advised, "Absorb contempt to prove your loyalty." They spoke of dignity, not martyrdom. Understand, contempt grows where it is watered. It becomes the wallpaper of relationships when left unchallenged, familiar, ugly, and surprisingly adhesive. Stoic law says, your worth is not up for auction, even if you're the only one who bids. It is okay to say nothing, to change the subject, to step into another room, to disengage not as a punishment, but as a preservation of the inner citadel. Sometimes the bravest person at the reunion is the one quietly refilling their own cup while the rest chase empty validation. And yes, sometimes you'll be misunderstood. They think they're better than us now. No, they misunderstand your silence for pride, when really it is peace. Imagine a world where your calm was read as wisdom, not defiance. Even if they never see it, you do. That's enough. Tonight, you crossed from reaction to intention. You are not ungrateful for drawing the line. You are wise. The discipline to refuse what poisons you, even when offered by loved ones, is the seed of unshakable calm. As you lie back, let the noise of ancient arguments recede. Remember, you are not obligated to abandon your peace for someone else's comfort. True strength is the courage to honor yourself quietly and consistently. Breathe in silence. Breathe out old narratives. You already carry dignity. Now, defend it. Sleep knowing. You set the standard for how you are treated. Not your history, not their wishes. Just your unbreakable center. Walk quietly. Walk free. Tonight, you crossed from reaction to intention. You are not ungrateful for drawing the line. You are wise. The discipline to refuse what poisons you, even when offered by loved ones, is the seed of unshakable calm. As you lie back, let the noise of ancient arguments recede. Remember, you are not obligated to abandon your peace for someone else's comfort. True strength is the courage to honor yourself, quietly and consistently. Breathe in silence. Breathe out old narratives. You already carry dignity. Now, defend it. Sleep knowing. You set the standard for how you are treated. Not your history, not their wishes. Just your unbreakable center. Walk quietly. Walk free.